So, Jonathan, welcome to Bees in a Pod. We're very happy to have you here. Do you wanna introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'm Jonathan Pauling. I'm a Chief Executive of Alexander Rose Charity, who are partners today on this amazing launch of a Bridging the Gap project here at the Teviot Centre.
Amazing. Thank you. Do you wanna talk a bit about Alexander Rose?
Yeah, sure. So we're a charity. We're quite an old charity, been around a long time, but last 10 years we've been really focused on improving access to healthy food for people on low incomes. So we all know about the problems that we face here in the UK with food insecurity and diet-related ill health. You know, one of the biggest challenges that communities face is accessing healthy food. You know, making sure they get, access to, can afford it, can physically get to it, and then make sure that they give themselves and their kids a sort of healthy start to life. We've been trialing an approach whereby we create a voucher that can be redeemed for fresh fruit and veg from local markets and local greengrocers and community food projects, because we feel like one of the biggest barriers to getting a healthy diet is the cost. So if you can reduce that barrier, one, you're giving people more money, right? So the vouchers, the Rose vouchers, as we call them, they act very similar to cash. You take them to a local market trader. They're all individual £1 denominations. You can shop around at the market. You can buy the fruit and veg that you and your family like and enjoy. And that relieves some of the financial pressures that you have in your life, because putting food on the table, as we all know, is a really big challenge for lots of families in the UK at the moment. Especially after COVID and then the cost of living crisis, things have become very tough. And so this voucher allows them to buy food. It happens to be just ring fenced for fruit and veg. That money goes back into the local economy, so it goes back to local traders, who in the end are the people providing healthy food for all of our communities every day of the week, and they need our support and they need to survive and thrive. We feel like, you know, everyone knows you need to eat more fruit and veg, right? The message of 5 a day, but very few of us actually manage to hit that target of 5 a day. But if we do, it means that our long-term health will be benefited. So especially with children, if you can get them eating fresh fruit and veg from an early age, they're more likely to continue to eat it, and as they get older and demand it and have a taste for it. And that's going to mean we're going to have less of the problems that we find that we're having with all of our health systems. So that's the kind of genesis, or that's the sort of main aim and objective of us as an organization. And then we've been looking at the food system in a sort of more holistic way, and we all understand that food doesn't just have a negative impact on people's health and their food security. It also has a big impact on our environment and our climate. So the way that we produce food can also have adverse effects on wider things like biodiversity, climate, can pollute waterways and riverways. And so if we're going to tackle the climate and nature emergency that we face as a society, we have to transform the way we produce food to make sure that it's healthier and also more environmentally sustainable.
So we know if the world's being saved, it's by Jonathan. Pretty much.
You're doing amazing work.
We know you get the credit to.
It's such an important initiative, because we've noticed just how much it's supporting what we're doing here. It's almost like you're doubling the benefits, because we're already sourcing the food and selling it at as low as a price as possible, and then to have this as an additional benefit means that even if you're only entitled to so many vouchers, whatever money you have, you can then know that this is as best a value as you can get. And like you said, the importance of eating fruit and veg, especially around here. So your options really to get cheap food is fried chicken, and they're dotted everywhere here, especially in Tower Hamlets. I was shocked to kind of find out other areas don't have this level of concept. We've got a road in Stepney where it's literally 4 or 5 next door to each other chicken shops, and there's not a single. I think the healthiest thing on that road is probably Subway, and even then that's questionable. When they their bread was recently classed as cake in Ireland, I think, because the amount of sugar that's in it. Yeah, no, it's amazing work that you guys are doing, and we're hearing amazing things from residents in terms of how much it's really helping them. And this organic launch is the next evolution in it to make sure that people are getting the best quality food that they can.
That's it, man. In the end, we need to make sure that this food is as accessible as possible. If organic is only ever accessible to a small percentage of very wealthy people who, really enjoy the benefits to perhaps their health and the well-being of the planet and the environment, but if it's only, I think at the moment, organic food is like, 4 or 5% of the total food system. If that's all it ever is, then we'll never change the impact that agriculture is having on our environment, the negative impact it's having on our environment, and we're probably, we're not going to deal with the climate nature emergency. That type of food has got to not just be the preserve of the middle class, it has to reach people who need good food the most and needs to be accessible to as many people as possible. So this pilot with Bridging the Gap, with Sustain, with Teviot Centre, and the really great people running the food co-op here is really testing how we can get, well, first and foremost, do people in this community want it? And I think today you've seen that they do, right? There's been, dozens and dozens of people, real excitement, real demand for this type of food. And then the challenge that is that it's not normally more expensive. So we're trying to make it more affordable. So we're subsidizing the cost of it. And then we're also putting the vouchers out into the community for families who are on low incomes to make sure they can access it and enjoy it.
It's so sad that health has become a class issue now. It's really sad, and amongst, we thought that we were already kind of dealing with all the other issues that come with all of these kind of this class divide in the country, and to get to the point where now for you to live a healthy life, because food is just it plays one part in all of these kind of this health class divide, because if you're working class, you're more likely to live somewhere that's heavily polluted and you haven't got the option for kind of fresh air. You're less likely to have access to exercise services that are affordable, and even then the quality that of service that you'll get there is lower. We've got there's the better gyms kind of scattered around the country, which are I don't know if it's a charity or social enterprise, but their whole aim is to try to make exercise more affordable. And it's one of the things I found with them, as much as I love their services, but there's an inconsistency even there with the kind of level of service you get when it comes to like cleanliness, having that access to a cleanly and clean area to kind of do your exercise and focus on your well-being. So it's just so multi-layered, and it's sad, but there's hope with the kind of work you're doing and the kind of work we're doing, where we're trying to bridge those gaps. Like here at the center, we offer free exercise classes in collaboration with quite a few people, most notably Nuffield Health. So it's bringing that accessibility to the local residents, and having that kind of clean space for them to work out in, having a space to then go work out and then go socialize, which is nice. Like a lot of that time, to get that access in the gym, you have to pay for an expensive gym. You have to go to a Virgin Active or Third Space where they've got a common area.
It's an equity issue, right?
Absolutely.
We've created, we seem to be moving as a society more and more to an unequal country. So we've always had inequality, but it seems to be getting worse, and we need to address that. And it's not just about it's good that everyone has a good standard of living, and it's nice to be for the country to be a fairer place. It actually, if you look at it from really hard economic position, it hurts UK PLC if people are not healthy and don't have good well-being, don't have good mental health. All of these things are weighing down on our economy and the ability for us to be a successful country. So, when people talk to me about, well, this is just capitalism, there's winners and losers, it's like, if you want to have a really effective capitalist society, you look after people's health and well-being, because then they can be more productive, then they can contribute more to society. And if we want to grow our economy, that's what we've got to do. So it's not just some sort of left-wing fancy that we should help the poor and we should do. It makes good economic sense.
Exactly. It's it's sad that this country's kind of got a real sour taste in its mouth for like social democracy, because we need it. We need it. Capitalism inherently, it's not, you can get some good out of it, but you got to tame it. You have to tame it, and I like to think the kind of work we're doing is trying to demonstrate, look, there is a way. There is a way. It doesn't have to be exploitative. It doesn't have to be overwhelmingly focused on just produce, mass production.
And exploiting people and exploiting the planet as you go. That's just not the way to run a good society or
People
a
will
good
leave.
community. They will. Yeah.
We were just saying.
There's a brain drain, right? In the UK, smart people are going to other places. They're going to
that's
the
what
US.
we
They're
were
going to New
talking
Zealand. They're going to Australia. I mean, I came the other way, by the way. I'm from New Zealand. I came here, but
Let's
gets worse. I
elaborate
might
on
drain back.
Me and my friends, like when we've been discussing, like, we need to get out of here. There's no this isn't a place where we feel like it's at the moment, and the way it's heading, it doesn't feel like a place we want to raise a family.
Yeah,
really,
but I also, just to be honest with you though, everywhere's struggling, right?
Of course.
Like in UK, and I'm very big for being somebody who's not from here, right? I'm really big on don't get down on the UK. I hear a lot of people get down on the UK. I hear British people. I hear lots of New Zealanders who come over here. It's not like home, mate. It's like, well, why the hell are you here? Come on.
True.
And a lot of people don't even have that choice, and you have that choice. So respect that choice.
Of course.
But also, people look back at places like New Zealand through rose-tinted glasses. New Zealand has higher child poverty rate than the UK. We have one of the highest male suicide rates in the world. There are challenges everywhere, and we just got to get to grips with our own challenges, right? We've got to accept our challenges. Like, it's kind of like a personal thing. Like, you look at yourself, you go, oh, there's some good bits to me, there's some bad bits to me, and I need to work on myself and improve. It's the same as our society, right? We've got some good, we've got some bad. We just need to work on, emphasizing the positive and trying to de-emphasize the negative.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But it gets difficult.
Yeah, it really does. And I know, look, don't worry. I get that, because like when you work in the fields that we work in, and you see the struggles that people are facing, and you see the inequity of things, and you see things getting worse and not better, it's a downer.
It is. But you know what? Events like today really kind of it's that little boost in hope that. Yeah, the solution is there. I mean, we're working on the solution actively.
Well, look, this is what because I'm going to turn the podcast back on yourselves for a moment here, because working for Alexander Rose Charity, we've been partners with the Teviot Centre for about a year now, I think, and we started with registering families on the Rose Voucher project, and then partnering with you around this idea of transitioning the co-op into the organic produce. And I've just been hearing loads and loads about the great work that you guys do. So tell me a little bit about what is the Teviot Centre to you guys, and how does it help this local community?
So, Leaders in Community. I'm an alumni of the organization. So I joined Leaders in Community when I was 14, and I was a bit of a disillusioned, apathetic young person, as you tend to be as a teenager to an extent. But I was really, really frustrated about the school system and my school system, because I didn't feel like I had the opportunity to really explore things and learn things the way I learned through conversation, through discussion, and the school system's very much, hey, this is black and white. This is the right answer. Don't worry about exploring that. And so that's kind of privilege you get from private schools. But I discovered LIC. I met Saeed actually first at 14 during the live band project. So we were doing kind of live instrument playing and playing as a band together, and it was through that I was kind of exploring being able to express myself and understand that I have, a safe space to talk about and explore things and voice my opinion. And that's really kind of in terms of the base of what LIC does. It's youth leadership and social action, and being able to channel your frustrations, your passions through our programs. And we're youth-led. It's not just a slogan that it's youth-led. It's genuinely youth-led. So I was a trustee of the charity at 16, and I sat on the board of trustees, and I was able to to have my voice heard. And I'm not the only one. There's loads of young people that have managed to kind of influence how this organization's run. And they hired me at 16. So after I did a year as a trustee, and then I was like, actually, I think I can do a lot more on the ground. And so they gave me the opportunity and a lot of trust.
Wow.
And a lot of trust. And this is the culminate, like, I'm getting paid to be dressed as a V right now. You know? And it's such a privilege. And this is also kind of spurred on and had input from young people. And that is what we do. And the community center that we're running here is we bring young people into it. So they inform the kind of activities we do here and how we do them and how we address certain issues. And that's really, in a nutshell, what LIC is. And it's, majority of our team is under 30. And we're always looking to hire from our alumni. So our content creator was an alumni from one of our leadership programs, Showed Initiatives. Now he's getting paid to create content, and he actually informed. We'll have him on the podcast, but he actually informed what he decided to study at uni. So he decided to go into marketing and communications, and he didn't know that's what he wanted to do until he started creating content here and supporting us with that. And now we've got another batch of young people that recently graduated that want to get into that as well. So we're trying to work that into it. And it's just that's LIC, and I think it's one of the most beautiful things about this place that keeps us genuine, and it keeps us.
I think elaborating on LIC, because we manage the community center in itself, we get to kind of choose what kind of projects that we can run here, what kind of sessions. So we work with a lot of external partners, and we're still looking for external partners to work with to be able to run sessions here to bring the community together, so that they have a space, so that when they come here they know, oh, it's not a place to just grab a drink and talk all day. Like, you can literally get involved in all of the sessions. You can keep up to date with your health by joining the fitness sessions. You can work on your IT skills and development, since the IT era is growing. So you want to learn how to use basic skills on a computer.
We had a
IT workshop.
We had a coding club for 12-year-olds.
Our course is finished. So that's what the community side of things is. We're always looking for new projects up and coming, and we give them the space, and they run the sessions, and we help promote it. So that's the community side of things. It's just a hub. It brings people together, and it gets them involved in all of these fantastic opportunities.
And it seems like you're really successful at it, because I've visited a lot of youth clubs in my years here in the UK, and some of them are good, some of them are pretty down at heel. Actually, there's not much going on. There might be a half broken pool table in the corner, and half of the strip lighting is out. This is a nice centre, man. This is welcoming, it's warm, there's stuff going on, there's activity, there's a cafe, there's it looks like the real deal. This should be in every community, right? Absolutely. That's what we're trying to really push. So we want to demonstrate that there is a model behind this, and the answer lies with young people, and communication and cooperation, because our young people work with community members. They start to understand. At every single event that we've done here, we always have minimum 10 young people volunteering. And we had a festival here in the summer called the Teviot Festival. We do it every year, and we had 25 young people volunteering. Brilliant. And they're regular volunteers, and they actually keep commenting to us like, when's the next event?
They come to us, when's the next thing happening? When's the next thing going on?
And a lot of that magic comes with that trust in young people. And I have noticed that in other youth centers where they might have incredible facilities, but if your staff don't have that empathy, that care, that passion to listen and give them ownership, and also understand, like, cool, there should be a journey. It's great getting young people who might be at risk of crime off the streets. That's the first step. So you provide them with that environment where they can do things, right? They're occupied, but then you can't stop there, because eventually they're going to get bored, and eventually they will leave. And so you have to have that sustained holistic approach. And so there's got to be a next step. And for us, our next step is the leadership programs and the social action programs, they care about something. You know what I mean? You're a teenager.
Everybody cares about something,
exactly.
right? You just got to find what it is. Where's the golden bit of where's the nugget?
Exactly.
That this person will drive this person and get them engaged.
You pull at that string. And we've seen like incredible success of our young people really turning themselves around and turning their lives around and getting themselves out of a situation where their life could have gone a completely different direction. And I think we need more of that, and we really want to demonstrate this is how it's done. Like, come talk to us. We're not hiding
other
anything.
People can learn from you guys. One of my favorite bands in the UK at the moment is like a jazz collective called Ezra Collective. Don't know if you've heard of them.
No, I'll have to check them out.
They won the Mercury Prize this year for music, and fantastic, like modern British jazz, right? Really cool, funky, really great bunch of young guys. But I saw them live at the Hammersmith Apollo, and then when they did the Mercury Prize, they said the same thing. It was their youth club and the youth music program that they had at the youth club, which got them, like they all met there. That's where the band started, and they grew up together. And without the youth club, they said the Ezra Collective never would have happened. There was no way it would have happened. So this is the sort of infrastructure that communities need, and we need more of it. And all power to you. The success of this and the success of our partnership on Bridging the Gap, I really hope it continues to work, that we continue to get big crowds in like we have today, lots of people eating fruit and veg, but then also for things just to keep going the way they're going for you guys, that you can do more and more for your community. You can make this space, the dream space that everyone wants to come to. And then that you can go out and tell other people how it's done as well, so that we can get this sort of thing replicated in other areas.
I really hope so. I really, really hope so.
That'd be great.
All right, we'll kind of wrap it up there, but do you have any parting words? Anything you want to promote?
No, man, but I just think you both look fabulous in bee costumes. They really suit you.
Thank you.
I think, I wouldn't make it just for today's sort of activity. I think people really gravitate towards you if you walk around the community. It'll draw people in.
So.
And, bees, man, how there's nothing cooler, to be fair.
And they're vital. They're vital. Yeah. We actually have a beehive that we run. So you just missed our honey harvest. So we harvested some honey, and it's local. We had to. They usually live in our garden, but it's been a rough year for the bees because of the weather. And their queen died, and we had to move the hive to the other hive we have just down the road, so that the hives take care of each other.
We're currently looking for homes right now.
Homeless bees.
Our queen died. But it's local honey, and that's why we decided to go with the bee theme.
I love it.
Thank you so much.
I
really appreciate your time.
Guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.